I feel like I'm in a theme park. Welcome to the Chinese city, where the citizens are big fans of the Chicago Bulls. There are ox heads everywhere in the city, on the railings, on the roofs, in the walls, on the shutters, above the door of the bank, really everywhere.
We're at the bus station. The bus stations in China are so far never really the most aesthetic places, but I guess where are they in the world? Very aesthetic. They're functional. Where are we headed today?
We're heading to Ximeng.
Ximeng. Yeah.
It's another village of the Wa ethnic group. We stood by for one day because had been shitting my brains out thanks to I don't know, Chinese food, maybe not. And now we're ready to keep on with our village hopping, or maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we'll visit this village definitely.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be charming and
It's
creepy.
supposed to be cute. Oh, and creepy too, yeah.
You see why?
Yeah, the Wa people are not just in this part of China, but they're also in the northeastern part of Myanmar too, so they spread over the two countries. Okay, we've made it to Ximeng. Yeah, and I just said that the bus stations are generally not very aesthetic. The outside of that one actually really was. The inside was still kind of. So let's see what this culture is all about.
Everywhere here is very aesthetic. I mean, all the buildings are modern, but they are all made in this style, which looks like modern huts.
Feels more like a city than a village,
Yes.
but let's see, maybe it's just because we're in the city part and we have to go out to some villages.
Yeah, but this is the city.
Yeah.
Definitely. Look at those one.
But I think, as we said, China is good at making traditional villages into a bit theme park style. What is that? That's a good. Okay, that's like a organic waste bin. It also feels like a bit ghost towny too. Like there are people walking around, but it's quite quiet for a Chinese town city.
For a Chinese city. All the hotels have a tea station like this one. We tried it already several times. We are having many teas.
The hotels in China have so far been quite funny. They give you a lot of free amenities, including condoms. Each hotel we've been in so far has condoms, or most of them. Also, every hotel has like canisters of tea as well, that you can just like make a tea in the teapot, which is what I'm doing now. Usually it's like a pu'er tea, so it's quite nice and strong.
The street lights are also really cool. And
Solar powered.
so the bull's head is definitely the symbol of this city village. It's
Yes.
everywhere, and we're wondering why. It might be that in the past they were showcasing a bull's head, like a real one of a dead animal, in front of their house or something like that. Could it be?
I thought it was something to do with like they put it on top of the gravestones or something like that.
Okay, so I made it even more extreme.
But I think that maybe we don't know yet, so we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah, by the end of the video you will know.
Yeah. What?
Trust us.
That's the theme and question of the video. Why are there bulls' heads everywhere? Okay, so we're making a lunch stop. This was a recommended restaurant from the front desk at our hotel. It's Wa style food, and we just ordered one or two dishes that are quite local. So let's see how they go. One has pork in it, which we don't like to usually eat, but hey, if it's a local dish, let's see what it's all about. Gotta try it.
Time for a lunch, Wa style.
Wa
We got
style.
some veggies. Actually, we had this one also last night. Then some very delicious mushrooms.
Yes. which I thought was meat. They taste like meat. They're quite meaty.
And striped pork.
Yes, the pork looks a little bit spicy. We asked for less spice, but let's see how it is. And of course, everything with a lot of rice too. What do you think? Mmm. 好吃。谢谢。我已经忘记了怎么说华语。Thank you。华语。冒昧。
你好就是冒昧。
冒昧。你好。
So the pig is very
Piggy.
soft and very spicy. That's why I think I'll pass on it for today. But there is inside this kind of thing, which I don't know what it is. I think it's a piece of offal, maybe tongue.
Yeah, there's definitely some different organ parts in there, which I'm trying to avoid, but it's really tasty.
As you can see, we left all the pieces that look suspicious.
Yeah, which I hate wasting food, but I just don't think I could eat those. So just for context, why we are visiting these places with ethnic minorities, there's 56
different group of people in China, and the biggest one is the Han, which is 90% of the population. And then
you have 55 other ethnic minority groups. Yeah. So some of the biggest being like the Uyghur, the Hui as well, which is the Muslim group.
The Tibetan.
Yeah. Tibetan, so Mongols, yes. There's Manchu as well, Miao. Those are some of the ones in the top 10.
Yeah.
But then,
out of the top 10, I would say there's the Wa ethnic minority.
This small group that's just here on the border of Myanmar. Not too many other places. And also
another
the
one
Dai,
we already encountered.
The Bai we met as well too. So they're really celebrated, especially down here in Yunnan. But also all over China, because I remember when I was living in Shanghai, like students have to take this big exam before they go to university called the Gaokao. And it's like a huge, huge exam, super competitive. And ethnic minorities get extra points basically for being from an ethnic minority group. So they get actually a bigger chance or advantage of potentially going to like a better university. That's to say, hopefully it depends on their education system as well. If they can score well on the exam, but they get those added points. So there is a lot of ways to try to integrate them into the culture, but then there also, of course, are issues too, as well. Like if you go to the northern province, Xinjiang, you have the Uyghur group there, and they're probably a bit less like celebrated, let's say, just because of their history in the past as well. They've been involved in a few like incidents within China.
It seems there was still some desire for separatism.
Yeah, like the East Turkestan separatist movement. So
that's why, of course, it's not encouraged.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, while it's celebrated a bit more down here in other parts of the country, I wouldn't say it's as much so.
So there's a little theme park inside the theme park city, which is the main attraction.
This is a big lake, I guess, or a big pond. I think it's more of a pond, but it's quite big. And we don't know much about it yet. Hopefully we find some English translations, but there's a hill inside of here where there's a lot of bullheads, which is getting us closer to the reason why there's so many bullheads around the Wa city. So hopefully we find it.
I think they represent different ethnic minorities because the clothes are very different.
Or they could just be different Wa outfits for different ceremony uses.
Could be too.
Yeah, so actually this is a health walk. So you're just supposed to keep on walking around and around. And then at each little like milestone, they'll tell you how many meters you walked and then how many calories you've burned. This place is so weird. I think I expected to come to like a village and it's not at all. Apparently, my friend was saying, who's from China, there's a tribe that lives up there, or they used to live up there, but they decorate the hill with the bull heads, which is getting us closer to the truth. Let's go see.
Like these fake trees on the side of the path.
Yeah, it's really quite creepy. Being the only ones here, and then you come across these bull heads.
I feel like we're in a horror movie. Or it's about to start.
What's gonna happen to us?
So we made it to the top. And it's creepy.
It's like super concerning.
It's steaks with bull's head.
I think we can continue going up and see what this is all about.
More bull's head.
More bull's heads. Let's go see.
I think they still do some rites here. That's all. We are done with the bull's head. Oh no, look at this wall. So we're done. It's very tribal, very mysterious, very enigmatic, very picturesque. What do you think of this place? What do you think of this place?
What do you think they're fake?
Nothing.
I think we understand probably why there's bulls in this town now. Because obviously the bull head is very important to the Wa culture and they hang them up like this. But the question is now, why do they hang them up? Is it just decoration or is it for a deeper meaning?
Yeah, I guess probably the animal is very important for them, for their life sustainability, or it was.
Yeah. And the funny thing is we keep calling it a bull when we should call it an ox, actually.
It's an ox.
So
not Chicago bull, but Chicago ox. We wish we were more insightful, but it's everywhere written in Chinese, and even when it's not written in Chinese, you still can't read. So of course this is a sacred place for the Wa people, and they used to do rites here.
Ancestral sacrifices as well. Another fun fact is there's 3,000 ox heads scattered around. I don't know if we've seen all of them. I think it goes a lot deeper in, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna go further in.
We've seen enough ox heads.
Imagine all of these oxes being like alive in one place.
It's not the most beautiful place to see, but it's also very interesting to see this kind of culture in China where you wouldn't expect.
And just to add on to that, I lived in China for quite a few years and like I never have heard of this place. So just coming to see this spot has made this trip to like Ximeng worth it. Because at first we were like, what is this kind of theme park place? And then you come to this like sacred spot and it just kind of makes it all worth it, I would say. So definitely come here.
Although the city is much more eye-pleasing.
So there's a famous Wa saying, a single bamboo can't be made into a roof. And similarly, single person cannot succeed on his or her own. This is very true. You need companions, you need friends, you need family, you need peers at work to help you succeed. It's very hard to do so on your own.
And also very socialist. Very China.
Yeah, it is. They do put probably the most Chinese sayings on these things. But hey, are they wrong? So people would come all the way from as far as Thailand, Laos, Myanmar to Mengsuo Dragon Pool, which is this pool over here, because they thought that the waters were holy. So if you wanted to get pregnant or you wanted to cure yourself of some kind of ailment, you would drink this water. I'm not gonna drink it though. Sorry for calling this place a pond. It is definitely a lake. We're trying to walk around it, but it's just so big.
Unfortunately, it's not a pond.
Yeah. And we think the place closes or closed. So hopefully we don't have to sleep with the ox heads tonight. So yeah, even on this lake that feels to be in the middle of nowhere, you occasionally run across like a CCTV camera, which is kind of exemplary of like what China is about. I mean, I think that as a foreigner as well, they definitely keep tabs on you, your almost every move. Because once, for example, we were stopped in the road when we were in a bus, and then they took all of our information down, including our phone number. And then when we're at each hotel, they register you with the police, basically. So they are keeping tabs on where you are.
So I need to get but we want free, right?
But we could also play this. I mean, we could also have that too.
It's like a game,
Yeah.
but with one hand.
Yeah. Draw. This bar is quite cute. They had a game and I didn't understand it for a little while, but you have to put your hand in and grab as many beer lao as you can for 20 kwai, 20 yuan. Otherwise it's 10 yuan each.
The more beers you get, the cheaper you pay for them. But I grabbed only three, because I mean, that's what we wanted.
Yeah, and
but yeah, it's very hard to get more than three.
It's hard, but someone did 7 somehow with one hand. Anyway, these are funny because these are beer lao, so we just came from Lao and now we're drinking it again. Okay, the night market is night marketing.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Yeah, it's just starting, but looks like there's a lot of nice little foods. We see some chicken feet,
like fries,
French
That's
fries.
really
Fabio is
want.
like really dying for some Western food. Which we might have to get. Anyway, we're gonna run back and like charge our phone because it's gonna die, and then maybe we come back here, maybe not. So we decided to go for dinner. We decided Chinese because the other option was a really bad hamburger shop. There's no Western food in this town whatsoever, and Fabio is craving it, but it was okay, right? It wasn't so bad.
So we had eggplants with garlic, soy sauce, very oily but delicious, not good for my stomach. Then morning glory mixed with spinach and I don't know,
Garlic.
Not so salty. It was good. The spinach were good, but it was also very, very bitter.
Yeah.
And then of course rice, which is good for my stomach.
Yeah, and they give you a whole entire big bowl of rice here. They do that at a lot of places, and you basically have like unlimited rice because who's going to finish all of that? And we have this room to ourselves. It's a bit sterile and North Korea-like, but yeah, all is good.
Good afternoon from Ximeng. We are trying to leave this city, but it's not that easy because all the buses are busy. All the seats are sold out, so we have to wait, and we are headed to Kunming, but apparently it's too far, so we can't go there today. We'll stop in Pu'er, and if we're lucky we can see the red bears. But I wanted to show you that even in Ximeng, the streets have the typical Chinese structure with the shops on the ground level, which I called garage because they're always like open. And I guess the living space is there, right?
Yeah, they always do these mixed-use places, but that's all over China. That's like not just the city.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's even here,
even
though
here,
it's
yeah.
a different kind of city. It's not the standard Chinese city.
Yeah, so
It's on the side.
rule of thumb is when you book buses in China, I would say the bus system is not as advanced as like the train system here, which you can book online. You kind of have to go to each place and get the timetable. It's not, they're always updating it locally, but they don't update it online. So make sure when you arrive to a place and you know you're gonna need to take a bus, maybe book a bus that day for the next day versus like waiting, because that's what we did, and now we have to wait like 4 or 5 hours. So.
Yeah, so we look for a cafe, we'll work a bit.
China being as random as it always is, there is a band playing at 1 o'clock on a Friday.
I think it's a sound check.
Okay. I'm not sure there's not much of an audience, and if there is, they stand really far away. So one thing you'll notice about Ximeng is that it's very environmentally concerned, let's say. There's a lot of recycling bins. They're clean. You know, it feels like a place that's very eco-conscious because
And aren't they birds' nest?
they're fake birds nests. So
Yeah, maybe they are to attract birds.
could be. Yeah,
City.
they have fake birds nests that are there for attracting birds. So they live very harmoniously with nature, and you can see that as well inside of the dragon pool. They say a few times like humans and nature should live together harmoniously. So more people should take note of that. So let's quickly recap the bull, the ox, and why it's everywhere in this city. We actually asked 2 people, and they actually weren't entirely sure. They were just like, oh yeah, it's because there's the ox heads inside of the forest that we went to yesterday. And then I was like, but why ox heads? And then they're like, we don't know. And they are from the local Wa ethnic minority community too. However, we did look it up, and like Fabio said yesterday, it was about like, you know, the ox is able to sustain the family and everything. It also is a symbol of wealth as well. So that's why you're going to see oxes everywhere. It's not a nefarious evil symbol. It's just symbolizing wealth of the community.
And the symbiotic relation they had with the oxes.
Oxes and humans.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Yes.
See you at the next video.
See you at the next video, and we look forward to you subscribing. Ooh, I just hit a motorbike. And we'll see you from Pu'er Simao. That's the next city we're headed to.
If you made it till here and you're still wondering, like us, why there were ox heads all around town, well, we then also heard that they might be connected to ancient head hunting rituals, once practiced by the Wa people, a tradition where taking a head was seen as a symbol of power or protection. Our driver, who was from another ethnic minority group, we won't say which one, even told us the Wa were cannibals. But there's no real proof of that, and it could just be another stereotype used to judge smaller and that's why easily targeted minorities. What's true is that the Wa are known for their vibrant music, dance and strong cultural identity. So thank you, Wa people, for welcoming us and showing us a piece of your unique world.
Mommy.
Mommy.
Mommy.